Hello and welcome to New Year, New Voice 2025, Day 8. Wow, we've talked about the jaw and the tongue, and I'm sure a lot of you are going, oh my goodness, what is this? My singing? And I really feel for some of you professional singers who are watching this and going, what am I doing? Like, I can't do this. And then you'll probably go through this thought process that's like, well, does it matter? And I will say, like, it does. If you're singing really well now and not experiencing any actual problems with your voice, that's great. But if you can't do these basic functions that we're talking about and the alignment isn't there, please look at it. Guys, I beg you, like, if you have really nicely functioning instruments and you're noticing these functional things are off, even though there's no aural effects yet, look at it before it's too late and you're starting to get situations that you don't want to happen. Okay. I think it's like anything else. It's like, you go get your car checked out, right? Your car's running fine. There's nothing wrong. You take it to a mechanic and the mechanic's like, hey, there's some corrosion here. And you're like, well, the car's running fine, so I'm not going to take care of it. And then what happens? Your car breaks down on the highway and you're like, why didn't I take care of it? So it's kind of a similar thing, right? And it happens usually a little slower than that. But, if you're already not suffering any kind of physical effects from your singing and you notice these things, it's a great time to revamp your technique and your approach, because you can only win from that point, right? Okay, so with that said, today we're going to dive into another aspect of what we were talking about with the tongue and the jaw and the face, and we're going to be separating now vowel from laryngeal function. So what we don't want to have happen when we say vowels is we don't want the larynx to jump. E, A, Ah, O, U, and the larynx is doing like this, right? So in general, in classical singing, we want to maintain somewhat a stable laryngeal posture with a slight turn. That's why opera singing sounds a certain way, right? It doesn't sound like country. It doesn't sound like Broadway, because of a certain laryngeal position that gives a certain quality, a certain like resonance stamp to the voice. And how we do this is we try to maintain some kind of stability in the laryngeal positioning. Now, that doesn't mean a fixed laryngeal position. I love the people that misinterpret everything I say. They'll watch one video for 30 seconds and they'll be like, you're wrong. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, I don't care. Because if you're not going to take the time, if you're going to siphon down singing into 30 seconds, and I can't help you. Sorry. So please don't take this as like, oh, this is the end all be all on this subject. No, this is a little like teaser. Obviously, I teach and people come to me. Sometimes I have students that I've taught for over 12 years. So, what are they learning? Are they learning anything new? No, but they're refining what they know. Like, really, this journey, you can never know too much, right? And you can never learn, and your body changes and you learn new ways of thinking about your singing. So this is not a one-stop, okay, and this is the end all be all, but it can point you in a good direction. So with this exercise, we're going to start to analyze how our larynx is functioning over vowels. So if you put this in here and you say E, A, A, O, U, right? You're going to find that you're going to want to kind of move things, right? E, A, A, O, U, if you haven't done this before. But what I want you to start to do is to find the way that you can keep the vowel position the same. So you can start with E and then we'll start with U. So we'll do this two ways. E, A, A, O, U. Okay? So you notice that I have to articulate the vowel and I have to keep the larynx turned in order to get the vowel clarity. And I apologize, I'll try to do an example that might happen. You might get something like this. E, A, A, O, U. All right, and that's what you don't want. So you could see a lot of movement, a lot of change between the vowels. So you want to keep this here. So you have that space between the teeth, and then you can keep this turn. E, A, A, O, U. So you feel that stability, that same kind of resonance in each of the vowels. And if it's easier, you can start with U because that's a more turned vowel. Ooh, oh, ah, So you hear that the resonance is the same. I'm not going ooh, oh, ah, e. Okay, that would be an example of doing this incorrect. You want to keep that sound stamp the same. Ooh, oh, ah, e. And it might feel a little silly at first, but this is going to help train the larynx to stay in a general turn position while we articulate the vowels. Okay, so give this a try and see how this influences how you think about singing, especially in the middle voice. Okay, and we will see each other tomorrow.